Flying Barcode Podcast audio commentaries.
Thanks to your generous donations to our Kickstarter funding campaign, Clive Barker Podcast presents Fundraiser 3.
Hell on Earth.
All right, so this is our very first one, Transmutations. I think I don't know why this is probably the worst out of all of them. I don't know, maybe not quite as bad as Hellraiser Revelations
or Candyman 3.
Yeah.
We're starting. It's funny that we're starting with a turd and then we're going to end with a turd.
Yeah. There's something a little more forgivable about a movie from 1985 that's bad.
Yeah. It has that 80s, I guess, vibe to it. So.
I was kind of appreciating that a little more the last time I was watching this, making my notes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's starting to get under your skin.
Yeah, it is a little bit. In the past, I always fell asleep watching this movie, but last night I was paying more attention. So for people following along, the way we're going to sync this up is, first of all, make sure that you have the longer version. Is it 103?
Yeah, yes. 103.
Yeah, the 103-minute version, and then sync it. And so pause this podcast and find the spot right after all the logos, because some people will be using the version that they got online where they took off all the Vestron video and piracy warnings and all of that. So right after the last Vestron video thing, it should fade to black, and the next thing you see is a street light and a bonfire. So right before you see the street light and the bonfire, pause it. And okay, so now we're gonna do a countdown to unpause. We'll count down from 5.
All right.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Play.
Here we go. So yeah, we've got these gray letterbox things on there, and if you're seeing this movie for the first time, they're not going to be there forever, so don't worry too much about it.
And this movie is directed by George Pavlou and was written by, there we go, Transmutations. The logo appears with sparkle.
Glittery,
letters. And on the other, I think it's the English version, it appears Underworld. Just the same as this title, but the title is different.
Now, does that the DVD version have the Underworld
My DVD
title?
version had the Underworld logo, yes.
Yeah. And I'm not 100% sure how many versions there are of the short one. It seems like all the ones I could find, all the US ones I could find, were the longer 103-minute version.
Right. So the tagline for this movie was, "All mutants are not created equal."
Yeah, and there was another tagline on one of the posters that we used that said, "Anything can be created," which looks like they were making a tagline for the poster instead of for the movie.
Sure.
Yeah, because that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So this is an Empire Pictures production and was released by Vestron Video, and we're listening to music by Freuer.
Which the music has kind of grown on me a little bit since the first time.
They ended up changing their name to Underworld, or didn't they, after composing this movie?
I think so. Yeah, eventually I think they changed their name to that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's not the best wagon to hitch to.
Yeah.
And that first guy, of course, steps right into the fire.
Yeah. So there's Pepperdine. She is played by Ingrid Pitt.
And I think that this scene is meant to tell us that this is a brothel, but at least for an American, I don't think you really get enough information to really know that until a little later.
Kind of just looks like a rich person's house, and they're having a party.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not letting this guy in.
Well, when you see the doorman and
what's his name?
Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Yeah, Ricardo.
And we know that Charlie McNaughton sent him.
Uh-huh.
and he wanted to see Nicole.
Oh, there's a scene coming up that I think is really funny. Is when these guys are all jumping around and running, trying to be stealthy.
Yeah, I know.
And then that guy is coming out of the house, and right now he looks up and he sees 3 guys. We're here to stand in formation.
Yeah. He says, "Oh well, I guess I'm gonna leave then because you guys look weird."
Yep. And here we get a little bit of the bubbly in slow motion.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be like 3 minutes of slow motion on this intro.
Yeah, it's really strange, and you can see it, especially in the first half hour or the first half of this movie, why how they were going for a music video look to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that all kind of goes away by the second half.
I think they drug it out for the slow motion.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Just have the credits.
Oh, just so they'd be able to fit the credits on one scene.
Yeah.
And they got some good names here. They got Denholm Elliott, who played Marcus Brody in the Indiana Jones movies.
Mm.
Ingrid Pitt was in a lot of Hammer movies. Nicole Cowper, she plays Nicole.
Yeah.
She was actually age 17 in this when this movie was made, which makes it doubly creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's in love with her.
Miranda Richardson plays one of the mutants, and in this movie she was 27. She also played Rita Skeeter in the Harry Potter movies.
And we just saw Clive Barker's name on the credits. There it is again, screenplay by Clive Barker and James Kaplan.
Who only has this credit on IMDb.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was reading The Dark Fantastic where the director said his script was not very good. It read like Rambo.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So
they said it was
Art
all action, and it was weird reading those notes or reading up on it that it seemed like Clive Barker and George Pavlou were sort of together against the producers.
Oh, okay.
And we've kind of find that later with Rawhead Rex, it wasn't like that. It wasn't the same. It was
right.
Yeah.
And we just went to full frame. We lost those bars. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's Denholm Elliott, like I said, he plays Dr. Savory in this movie.
It's the drug white man.
Yeah, those little tiny milk bottles are going to play an important role in this movie. That's why they zoom in on it.
Might need some of that while we're watching the movie. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't realize Dr. Savory was in this scene.
Oh, wait, he's not. That's not him.
That's not him?
No, it doesn't look like him.
This is some random guy.
Oh, okay.
I think.
This scene is a little bit hard to pay attention to.
Yeah.
There's Nicole.
Nicole has her own theme song in this movie.
Yeah, we're going to listen to that. So this movie has a good cast, but ended up being such a boring flop. It kind of proves that a movie is more than the sum of its parts. You know, the story development was pretty atrocious in this movie.
Yeah, and you need good writing, and you need good direction.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think the writing was totally screwed with, and then the director was probably not very competent.
So here she comes. It's like, there's a customer for you, Nicole. And you're just 17.
I know.
Horrible.
Yeah, they totally gloss over the fact that she's a prostitute.
Yeah. So, how's the color correction on your copy? Because I'm looking at my copy. It looks a little greenish, although, you know, I must confess, I had a DVD version, and the DVD version is only 88 minutes long.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
here's this guy. This guy is like the Pelican of the Underworld.
The color looks okay. It just looks old. I mean, I think that, like, right now, this is all too dark, but I just blame the original cinematography. I don't think that that's, you know, because of the quality of the...
Right.
What did you call him, Jose? You called him a discount pelican?
Yeah.
You know what?
His name is Red Dog, I think.
In this scene, when he jumps out in front of Nicole, reminds me of Ozzy Osbourne in the Bark at the Moon video.
Oh, yeah. That's
Here
a good
comes
point.
the corny music by Floyer. So I think you brought it up, Ryan, earlier. It was when I was looking at this movie, it seemed like the music was part of the soundtrack of the movie, but then all of a sudden you realize that the music is playing inside the bedroom and she's listening to it.
Yeah, she's listening to a song about how beautiful she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here in a second they're going to move outside of the room to the fire escape, and the music quiets down a little bit.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's back again.
It's not a bad song. I like that song. I'm going to hear it.
They should have, when she saw them, they should have done a record scratch sound.
Hey, she can't go to sleep during this bad movie, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we have to stay up, she has to too.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that drives me crazy is this guy, you can see only his eyes and the tip of his nose, but he looks familiar to me, but we never see him again. He doesn't seem to be like Red Dog or any of the other mutants. So I'm
He doesn't seem to have like a disfigurement or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, they saved a lot of money by just covering up people's faces so they don't have to show what they look like.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm sure they saved on special effects, yeah. So,
and you said Bob Keane did the makeup for this?
Yeah.
I remember you saying something about that.
Yeah, I was reading something about this, and I found out that Image Animation did... Image Animation didn't exist at this point yet, but Bob Keane did the makeup for this movie in '85. So, Ricardo! Here comes Ricardo in his satin suit.
Yeah, why do they have a bodyguard, like, pouring drinks? I guess he serves a lot of purposes.
Yeah. You're Johnny.
It's funny he just tries to pull her away. Why doesn't he just punch him or something? So we find out later that his arm gets broken or something, but I don't really see, I guess right there.
Yeah.
Come on, Ricardo.
Is this
No, his arm's okay right now.
A machete. It's not a bad fight scene.
Yeah, and the music's not that bad either.
No, yeah.
So, meantime,
I'm just waiting. I want to see how his arm gets broken, though.
Maybe here.
Yeah, there's Bark at the Moon.
There you go. Howl at the moon. The thing is, his eyes are red here, and I think maybe another scene, but then in all the other scenes, you can see his pupils.
Yeah.
So my question here is, why do these Morlocks, I'm going to call them Morlocks because they live underground, why do they need to kidnap Nicole? Wouldn't she be happy to see them, I guess? Or she didn't know who they were at this point?
Yeah, well, that's a good point, because she's one of them.
There's just another plot hole that they...
Yeah.
You have to...
Yeah, you'd think that she would know them all. Maybe she only saw Dr. Savory separately.
Could be, yeah. And we cut to our hero.
Yeah, and take a good look at his painting, because this is probably one of the worst paintings ever.
Okay.
There's another bad painting as they pan across to show him, if you would have looked on the right hand of your screen there.
It's like a blind person's painting.
So there's a funny thing. Roy Bain, played by this actor, Lamb. Oh yeah, that's a terrible painting. The joys of live transmission, folks.
Yeah.
So these guys, that guy right there with the sunglasses, his name is Art Malik, the actor, and in this movie he's called Fluke. And you will find that he does not take his glasses until the very, very end of the movie.
Yeah, he's too cool.
That's right.
In fact, he's so cool that the other guy doesn't even get to ride the elevator with him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Rob, you were saying that he reminds you of Agent Smith?
Yeah. Poor man's Agent Smith.
There you go.
He's like,
No,
nope,
take
there's
the
only
stairs.
enough room for me in here. Sorry.
You know why? I think he's doing that so this guy will take the stairs just in case Roy Bain tries to escape
Oh,
through
yeah.
the stairs.
Yeah, that makes sense. My way is funnier, though.
Yeah.
It is. So what is he like sensing here? It's like he feels their presence, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because he's such an awesome detective that he knows what's going on.
Right. And he's going to mention something about 17 seconds. And it's like, when did he start counting that from? But,
Yeah.
you know, I'm going
Yeah, they don't do a good job setting that up. I mean, we should have at least seen the clues that he saw.
I forgot the name of his sidekick. I know that Art Malik is Fluke, but this guy, I forgot his name.
Is it Darling?
I think that's just a nickname. So there you go. There's a part here where Art Malik is going to be like just leaning against the wall or standing in front of the wall, and he delivers his lines in such a horrible way. I like his shirt. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, he says, what's the parrot's name? He said, that's Darling.
Okay.
That's probably definitely a Clive Barker name there. Clive Barker they did probably keep the names. I did like the names for the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Fluke sounds like a name Clive Barker would come up with. So this part, I just think that he's just standing there with his hands on, you know, holding his hands and is like just delivering the lines so wooden.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to be cool, and it's not really working.
Nope.
No.
And what is that thing that they're playing with on the wall? Is it like a jukebox?
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
you're gonna see
Yeah, it
that
looks like-
further ahead. That's
Yeah.
like a jukebox / safe. I think our hero keeps his gun in there.
Oh, okay.
So he's retired, but he's got to go back for one more job.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Tut tut. My. All right, that kind of convinced him. Should I do it? Should I do it, boss?
Yeah.
God.
Okay, so I think they convinced him with a gun.
Yeah.
Cue the action music.
While they drive really slowly in that boat.
Oh yeah,
God,
and
that's super slow. I never noticed that. God, it is.
I got like a detail about this boat that I'm going to talk about while they take the boat to Motherskill. So this boat is called the Veste Demite, and I was googling around the name of the boat, and I found this Wikipedia article from this woman called Fiona Richmond. So apparently she was girlfriends with a guy called Paul Raymond, and once she was rumored to say in an interview that Paul Raymond had a boat on the south of France called the Veste Demite. The closest translation from the Latin is "get him off." He was one of the last great showmen. Everyone today is just so much more boring. And then I went to see the Wikipedia page for Paul Raymond, publisher, and I found this information. Liverpool-born Geoffrey Anthony Quinn was an English publisher, club owner, and property developer. He opened the UK's first strip club and became very wealthy, buying property on a large scale, and launched Paul Raymond Publications with his soft porn magazine Men Only, soon followed by Escort, Club International, Mayfair, and many other titles. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was his boat that made it into the movie.
I wonder if it's also his strip club in the movie.
Yeah, it could be. There we go. Going to see Motherskill. So Stephen Burkhoff, he was in Beverly Hills Cop. He was the villain.
Which person is Steven Burkhoff?
Guy coming up here playing Motherskill.
Oh, yeah.
He's also
okay.
the bad guy in Rambo First Blood Part 2.
That's right, yeah. And, you know, our friend Danny Stewart posted something on my wall, I think, today about this guy. Like, Steve Burkhoff was doing some sort of like statement that nowadays young actors in England are not very good. I'm going to see if I can find that, and I'll get back to this.
What a pompous ass. He has a painting of himself.
I know.
Roy didn't. It's obvious Roy didn't do it.
Yeah. If Roy did it, it would have been just a big blob of green.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, it looks like he's trying. Looks like Roy Bain was trying to do like one of those Bob Ross paintings. Now I'm just going to put a nice little tree over here. You know, I kind of like Mother Skill a little bit.
Oh yeah, he was probably my favorite character out of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's the only one that's not wooden.
Yeah.
I think he's very convincing, even when you consider that he basically just had him abducted at gunpoint.
Yeah.
This is another trope of the bad mobster that wants to pretend like he's legit, and he wants to have like a legitimate enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair to the filmmakers on this, they had very little money and short time to do this. I mean, it was kind of a rush production.
Yeah.
They didn't have a script for auditions.
Well, and there were competing ideas about what this movie was even supposed to be, and
Yeah.
Clive Barker was hired to write a horror movie, and the producers didn't want it to be a horror movie.
Well, they wanted it to be, they said, and then they were like, they said to him, well, we promised our producers a music video kind of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Clive Barker.
One of the producers really wasn't, he thought Clive, he didn't really think too highly of Clive. He was kind of a, to be frank, kind of a prick.
Yeah, well, and they were filming this before the Books of Blood were even published.
Yeah.
So, how could they even know who Clive Barker was? Other than, he was in plays and stuff.
Yeah.
I think they were just basing it off the original script ideas and stuff that he had. I think Clive's original screenplay was a lot more provocative than Clive Barker, with the Clive Barker we like.
Didn't one of the producers,
Said he was a pornographer.
Imply that Clive Barker was almost a pornographer, or he had like a pornographic sensibility or something.
Yeah.
Which I can see someone with a narrow mind thinking that.
Yeah.
That's a problem he's running, with Hollywood for a long time now.
Yeah.
That line was weird about, you know what these people do. They'll cut her up and videotape it and show it to the freaks. It's like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, a lot of this, when I first watched this, go ahead.
I think he was talking about like underground snuff films or something, like the urban legend of snuff movies.
Yeah, maybe. It wasn't, I don't know, it didn't seem very clear. Yep. You go because you're the sneakiest one out of everybody.
Yeah. So apparently Roy Bain had a thing for Nicole.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be a picture of her. It doesn't really look much like her.
Not at all.
It doesn't. Here we go. He's putting on his street clothes and getting a 6-shooter. Bring on the noir.
That's right. He's got special clothes, and he's got a car that's only reserved for when he's doing like investigating and being a mobster or whatever. Oh, time to pull the cover off of the car.
So for the people listening to this, I discovered that there is an Internet movie card database. And so I found out what cars are used in this movie and in other Clive Barker movies like Nightbreed. But this is a red convertible Jaguar XK 150.
It looks like they had the real license plate there instead of putting a fake one on it.
Could be, yeah. And in case you guys want to check out the Internet Movie Card Base, it's imcdb.org.
Oh, wow.
So here he is back at Pepperdine's.
Yeah, this is another huge plot hole coming up here because, of course, he's going to come here first to investigate, and these people won't tell him anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And further down the line, Mother Skill is actually going to start interfering with the investigation because he doesn't want Roy Bain to find out too much, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. So, okay, I thought his arm was in a sling later on. But no, he's got a neck brace.
That's what you get for falling asleep twice watching the movie.
Yeah, more than that. I think I've only seen it 2 times all the way through without falling asleep, and all the other times I fell asleep.
For the longest time, I used to fall asleep every time I tried to watch 2001.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm kind of embarrassed to admit it because it's an awesome movie, but whenever the astronaut would start seeing all those colors, I think I kind of got hypnotized and I kind of fell asleep.
I fell asleep during Videodrome, so I didn't actually understand that movie.
Oh, man. That's hard.
Trying to think of a movie I've fallen asleep during. Maybe Abraham Lincoln. That movie. It was a great film, but it just yeah, it was good. It just I don't know. Maybe I watched it too late.
Not the Vampire Hunter one.
Oh man, did you guys? Although this is a brothel or let's say like a gentleman's club, there's still a giant crucifix on the wall over the fireplace. That is so conservative. So there's Ricardo making a drink.
She said only Ricardo saw them. It's like we know that she saw them.
You know, instead of a baseball bat, he should have opened the door with a cricket bat.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Then they're in London.
Because Ricardo doesn't ever talk, right?
I don't think he does. Yeah.
No, so maybe he's American. He brought it with him.
Could be.
Yeah.
Maybe he comes from Puerto Rico. I love her makeup. It's so weird. Is her hair blue?
Yeah.
It looks kind of bluish.
It's really strange.
She almost looks like a Clive Barker character from Aberrat.
Yeah, great detective skills there, buddy. What a mess. Yeah.
So there's the little cosplaying closet.
I wonder if that's supposed to be significant that he never figured out what his fantasy is. You know, for the ending.
Well, it just means that he loves her, the real her, I guess, you know.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
kind of like Gentle and the Mistiff, Piopa.
Yeah.
Like everybody else sees Piopa as something else. But Gentle sees Piopa as he really is.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, and he gets injected right at the end of the movie. He gets injected with the white man.
I think they were expecting the audience to forget about that.
Yeah, it's like
nothing happens really.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Is he doesn't? You know, that's supposed to make their dreams take root in their body, and nothing happened to him.
Well, there was an alternate ending that Clive had written, but they didn't shoot it, so it might have made more sense out of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's that picture of
Savory
with his face melted off and all the needles sticking out of his head.
Oh yeah, that was a much better effect. I don't know why they didn't use it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think there's like a sketch. I think there's like a sketch of that, but the actual photo I think you're thinking about, it's just him without flesh, without skin, but there's no needles there. But I think the plan was for when Nicole is affecting Savory, that the thing that would come out of his body would be these needles, hypodermic needles pushing forward out of his skin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which again kind of puts us in Pinhead territory.
Oh yeah, sure. Which that seemed to come up again and again until Hellraiser came out, like in the Forbidden also.
Yeah.
They did try to put a few things here and there that would give us clues for other moments down the movie, like the little sculptures that he sees in Nicole's room. I think he's going to see little sculptures again um, in another place, so he's going to know that Nicole was there. So at least they tried. Yeah.
It seems like he's a little rough with her in this scene.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just bad acting, but I mean, he's like really calm, and then all of a sudden he's yelling and shaking her and stuff.
It's like, what's the matter with you all?
Yeah.
Well, I guess he knows that something weird is going on, but he's not getting the full picture. But honestly, there's nothing else that Pepperdine knows about it, except for the drug, the white man. That's going to be basically the MacGuffin of the movie. Is that the drug is what's going to put him on the path to find Savory. But nobody wants to talk about the drugs.
Yeah. Well, and Motherskill deliberately wants to mislead him about it, but at the same time, they want him to find those people.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
The whole mission doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like they're going to screw him over anyway, so why hire him?
I know. Well, because they said he was the only one that could find the transmutations.
Oh.
There you go. She just said the name Savory. That puts him on the path. But here are the little sculptures. I think it implies that Nicole makes these.
Oh.
At first, I thought that these little bottles had like powder, white powder on them. And then I kind of got a little confused when I saw people stick a needle in there and suck it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can they do that? And then I realized, oh, this is a liquid.
Yeah.
I guess I was expecting drugs to look differently, like a powder. That's Darling, isn't it?
I think, yeah. This is so dark.
I think the light. I like the lighting in the movie. I will say that some of it's pretty cool. I know Barker was instructed by the director to to even write that into the script. You know, kind of like he wanted to do a lot of. The script was really inspired by films like Chinatown and Inferno. Dario Argento.
Oh. And also, this takes place in London, and London in the 80s wasn't as well lit, I guess, as some parts of America are nowadays.
Yeah, but scenes like this kind of hurt my eyes trying to see what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. They could have put a little more into the budget for lighting this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like right here you can't see anything. You can see a little bit of his cheek.
I'm wondering if this has to do with the way that this movie was pan and scanned as well. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be, yeah.
But he didn't see him. He was standing right there in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, told you. Great detective skills.
Yeah.
He's no Harry D'Amore. You got nothing on Harry.
Here comes a callback. Bang, bang.
There you go. It's okay. They're gonna be best buddies in a bit.
Yeah.
Man, Roy Bain's hairdo is amazing.
Yeah, it's really.
I wonder how much gel he puts in that hair every day. Not a single hair out of place.
Now somebody's gonna be showing up in this scene, right, Jose? That people will be familiar with.
Oh no, it's further down the movie.
Oh, okay. I thought it was this.
Oh, at the that's actually this is the same bar as that they see that horrible act in, right?
It could be.
It looks like it.
Same on location.
It looks like the same bar.
Hey, if you got a bar, only thing you got to do is shoot different scenes from different angles, and it looks like two bars.
Yeah. But yeah, like all the neon lights and stuff, or all the lights in the bar area look the same.
Yeah, Darling is being pretty helpful with the details in this scene. What is
Yeah,
next?
yeah, especially when they're supposed to be hiding that from him.
Yeah. I do like the lighting in this scene, like you guys were talking about. Yeah.
I forgot to check who DP'd it. Who was the director of photography? I don't know. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, I can look that up while we're watching this.
I wonder how many takes it took to do that little flip thing into his hand.
Yeah, I know. Little things like that take forever to get right.
Okay, so Underworld, 1985. I'm going to see if I can find out who was the director of photography.
So he pretended like he was going to take the white man, and Darling didn't even bat an eye. It's like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
So cinematography by Sid McCartney. I don't think there's any relation with Paul McCartney.
No. Yeah.
So you never know. He's still working.
Yeah.
He's doing a TV show called Last Tango in Halifax, 2015.
Oh, I thought you meant Darling was still following him.
After Underworld, the director of photography went on to make this movie with a wonderful title, A Turnip Head's Guide to Alan Parker.
What's it called?
Turnip Head's Guide to Alan Parker.
Oh.
And then after that, he did The Nihilist's Double Vision.
Now, who is this actor? I've seen him in something. Playing Savory, Dr. Savory.
Oh, Denholm Elliott. He was Marcus Brody in the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
That's
yeah, right. Yeah, and so I guess this... So I think this is an Amiga keyboard. It looks like they took the markings off of it, but...
You've got one of those, right, Ron?
Yeah, I've got two.
What's weird is this guy does human experiments in his own house.
Yeah.
I love these computer interfaces.
He does these experiments for medical experiments for money, and I think what he's hoping is that these people will get addicted to the drug and then keep coming back and buying it from him.
Yeah.
But how could he not expect to get caught doing that? Right out of his own house.
That is a good
Must
question.
have a deal with the cops.
Yeah, I guess.
What does he do with the dead bodies when he kills them in his experiments? I mean, there's a lot of holes in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love those fantasy computer interfaces that we were seeing just now. Where he's got like a camera.
And it detected the gun in his pocket.
Yeah, the infrared kind of heat.
Especially during the 80s, they did that a lot.
Yeah.
They did that in a movie called Hardware a lot, from the POV of the robot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You had pizza with Richard Stanley once, didn't you, Ryan? And Russell.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, Russell kept trying to introduce me to him, but it was so loud that he didn't hear.
Yeah, he did some awesome movies. Yeah,
and I've never seen any of his movies anyway, so I didn't push it.
Oh, you never saw Island of Dr. Moreau and
No.
Well, he didn't. Okay. He wasn't able to. Actually, he got fired from that movie.
Yeah, they brought him back disguised as one of the creatures on the set.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a documentary being done right now about the making of the Island of Dr. Moreau. It's pretty wild.
That's funny. Wait, put that away. Whatever it is. I have no idea what that little bottle is, but if you just look over in the next room, I've got 100 of them.
Yeah.
And actually, they just crashed on the floor.
That crash is extremely convenient. And why would he leave Roy there?
Yeah.
The house is full of experiments and stuff.
Yeah, he's a detective.
Yeah.
It's just to move the plot along, folks.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, wait, there's some of Nicole's statues.
There we go, little rock sculptures.
Yeah.
They tried. At least this guy does do some detecting. He's a detective that does detecting.
That's true.
He's got the
Although
great little.
they keep talking about him like he's the best, but from what I heard, he was a bodyguard at the brothel.
I didn't pick up on that, but
So, okay, time to go. Can't help you.
Yeah, and now... So they have to make it very clear in this scene that, yep, somebody came in through the window and rifled through all those drugs.
And Roy Bain hasn't even left the house. And he's opening up the door of his lab, like, open wide.
Yeah, well, and why didn't Roy Bain just follow him in there? He would have gotten a lot more information by just going and seeing what this was.
Oh, yeah. This is what we call an orgy of evidence.
Yeah.
That was a reference to
And just in case we aren't sure that he makes the white man, let's focus on them for a minute.
Yep. Meanwhile, in Midian,
Yeah.
look at those neons.
I know. I was just thinking about that, last night, too. It's like, what do they need all those for? I guess just to be, like, 80s cool.
The first time I saw this, I wondered if they were supposed to be like lasers or something. But then I realized, no, they're just neons.
Yeah, these guys need like a generator to run a telephone.
Well, they live in the sewer. Maybe those are like bug lights.
Yeah.
yeah.
Bug zappers. Hey, here's Quasimodo.
Yeah, his name is Doo-Doo / Shitface.
Yeah.
Actually, the only time I actually kind of laughed during this movie when he said that, I just found that to be sort of funny.
Yeah, well, but but it's like none of the rest of the movie has anything that's even attempting to be funny.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait, was that supposed to be a joke?
It takes itself a little too seriously.
Yeah, it really does.
That's Miranda Richardson right there.
Now, she was in Sleepy Hollow, the Tim Burton version.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think so. That's a really good movie too.
Yeah.
I remember when it came out, I saw it and I thought that it was most of the movie was just people explaining the plot in dialogue.
Oh, Nicole's waking up. Finally, it only took her like a day to wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Roy Bain has been all over the place investigating in the time that she was knocked out from the chloroform.
And here comes the title. Welcome to the Underworld.
Yeah.
My friends call me Shitface.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Welcome to the Underworld. We are also known as Transmutations.
Cue credits. Okay, here comes Discount Pelican.
What's that guy's name? Is that Nygod?
Red Dog?
No, Red Dog is the other one that goes nuts.
Oh, okay. They kind of look alike.
Yeah, they do with the hair.
Yeah. There's Oriole. Maybe that's Oriole?
That's a bad case of psoriasis right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, why are you walking like a zombie?
Yeah, like someone kicked them in the nards.
Yeah, but then he also runs. And he made a big flourish about jumping down like 3 feet.
Yeah, the line that guy said like a little while ago, like the dreams had taken over, that sounds like something Clive Barker would have written.
Yeah. Well, and he said that they used about 7 lines from his original script in this
I guess that's
movie.
one.
Yeah.
So, okay, so this guy is Red Dog.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
Okay.
Another interesting fact is that we've all seen this movie way more times than Clive Barker has.
He only saw it once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I still am almost, there's still parts in this movie where I'm kind of clueless about why this is happening or why they made it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I first watched it, and you're right. I mean, I don't know what's going on, seriously. I mean,
Here we go.
you're watching scenes.
Yeah.
Monsters have
Yeah. I
beats
mean,
too.
I think. So Red Dog has gone nuts, and he really, I guess. he saw these prostitutes before, and now he really wants them because he's all drugged out on the white man.
Monsters have needs.
Yeah.
And this is the part where Mother Skill wants Bane out of the investigation so he doesn't uncover the drug deal. So Savory is working on the white man and he's selling it, but he's also like working for Mother Skill, I guess.
Yeah.
But Mother Skill seems to be very like, he wants to stay away from the drugs. But maybe that's just him pretending.
Well, the and they reveal in the plot that they hired Bane to find all the mutants because they want to kill them, and they said because Savory's gotten out of control.
Right, but they wouldn't be able to sell the white man anyway because the white man kills people and turns them into freaks. So it's never going to be a drug that's going to be mainstream in the streets.
Yeah, where are those people going to get money to buy more drugs?
Right.
Just listening to y'all talk about it, just that's more entertaining than the movie.
Yeah, well, this movie really drags.
Yeah, you're right. It does.
What is that girl's name? She's like a major character, and I can never remember what her name is.
I forgot. The thing that I think is funny is that the gate is unlocked, and he just jumps over it. Just saw the girl get out.
Every gesture has to be so... It's over...
Yeah.
I mean, it's over dramatic.
Yeah, it reminds me of like... Well, actually, the other Underworld, with the vampires and the werewolves and all that female lead, every time she jumps in the air or gets in a fighting stance, it has to be like overly choreographed.
Yeah. Dude, did you just see that eye patch, dude?
Yeah.
He's just standing there.
Yeah, he has nothing to do with the movie.
Just standing here with my eye patch, not being creepy at all.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were talking about what?
Oh, that all of the posing and jumping and it reminded me of Underworld, the other Underworld, with the vampires and the werewolves. That what's her name? That's the vampire lady. She's always jumping, and then she lands in a pose where she's like putting one hand on the floor and like
I think it's on the first one that she jumps off like a church tower bell or something, and then she falls for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she hits the floor, she just gets up and starts walking away slowly.
Yeah. And
I'm like, that is like the fakest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a really big amount of those PG-13 semi-horror movies back in like the late 90s and like 1999 through like 2005.
Yeah.
You mean like The Grudge? Films like that?
No, I mean like these action-y horror movies that are all like mostly CGI. Like Van Helsing and Underworld and...
Oh, Van Helsing is one of my favorite guilty pleasures.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every time I'm zapping and I find that movie, I kind of watch it.
Oh, wow. I just saw it in the theater, and I was mad that I spent that much money on it.
Yeah, see, I never saw that in the theater, so... Van Helsing is actually from 2004.
Oh, going back to this scene, so there's this movie trope where if a girl says like, "Can't you just pretend like I'm her?" The protagonist always says no, but not Roy Bain. He's like, "Okay, I'll close my eyes and pretend you're Nicole."
Yeah. So we assume that they just had sex, and here we go. See, he keeps his gun in a slot machine.
Oh, it's a slot machine.
See, it's like, oh, here's my gun.
Oh,
thanks.
Wow,
jackpot.
That's probably a Clive Barker thing. I could see Clive writing that into a script or something.
I don't know. Anybody could come by and just pull the handle.
I guess so, yeah. Well, nobody gets there without his permission, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
And where was Roy going with her sleeping there?
I guess he's going to look for Nicole.
Yeah, maybe.
And so, what's that angle? I mean, where is the camera looking from?
I think the bedroom door.
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh no! Well, wait, that is weird. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't match up.
Nice ripped curtains there. There's like a giant hole in the curtain.
Yeah, that curtain looks like it's just a blanket.
And that's like a totally like fake wig right there.
Yeah.
This part is really funny. I don't know if it's intentionally funny, but it is funny. It's like,
He's kind of the Pelican of this group because he doesn't listen to them or do what they want.
So she's like, she slips with her makeup on.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is really funny. Oh no, a comforter!
The first fight scene with a comforter.
Roar!
Yeah, and why is Roy Bain still there? I thought he went out of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did he hear all that?
He was walking really slowly.
He was just taking out the garbage.
Yeah.
And bam! He looks more surprised that she hit him with a glass vase than hurt.
Yeah. He's like, hey, what?
He grabs him by the nuts right here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. And he got knocked out from falling down the stairs.
Oh, I hate those elevators with this, like, what do you call this thing? Like a sliding door?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what the name of that is.
Just press the lift button.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Maybe it doesn't go anywhere.
Instead of just screaming there, just hit the button.
Yeah, I know. That's classic, dumb.
Yeah, like
women.
when they're running away from Michael Myers and they trip
Or
and fall.
Jason or somebody, yeah.
So...
Oh, and look at this. He's going to fire at the monster with the girl in the line of fire.
Yeah, exactly. That could have gone... with that gun, it could have gone straight through him and right into what's-her-face.
Right.
At least he's a better shot than he is a painter.
Yeah.
There we go.
And maybe he knew how to aim it just right so the bullet would hit his rib cage and wouldn't come out the other side.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is
wait.
like the end of Halloween. Like, oh, the dead body's gone. Jin jin.
Yeah, he just was looking away for half a second, too.
Was that the boogeyman? Yes, it was the boogeyman.
Now, is this is his blood?
No, that was a broken bottle of
White Man?
White Man, yeah.
Okay.
See, so he was really smooth getting out of the building, but now he's a mess.
Yeah, that's right. He was like ninja fast
Yeah.
when he was leaving, but now he's just stumbling around.
Oh, I do have to let everybody know that since I'm watching the Laserdisc, and I know David, you're probably watching the Laserdisc, in about 3 minutes we're going to be turning that over.
Yeah, that's one of the things that used to happen, even with DVDs in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, when I got Stargate, you had to turn Stargate over.
Oh, okay. So in a while we'll do a pause thing, and you guys can pause as well.
Yeah. It's basically when he gets pulled into the manhole, and then Bane is looking at the manhole, then it stops.
Man, I wonder who came up with that word manhole.
Well, it serves its purpose, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think in this part he gets like the red eyes again.
Oh yeah, right. With this trope of like, oh, is he dead? Oh no, he's not dead.
Yeah, it seems like he has the red eyes when it's supposed to have dramatic effect. There we go.
And Bane could have shot him again.
Slowly fading away.
What is that?
Yeah, what is that spidery thing? Because
Was that the bullet wound?
I don't know. Could
Maybe
it be
it's-
that the white man was changing his body around the wound or something? You know, the drug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never know what was that spidery thing. He's got some nice suede boots. and this guy pops up like, did someone knock on this manhole?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we take care of our own.
Very,
Also, he's gonna
very
be dinner.
slowly.
They're going to turn Red Dog into dinner.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, we were really hoping he was alive because I did not want to have to do this.
Red Dog is now called Dog Meat.
Okay, so I'm gonna just yell pause, at the time when the laserdisc stops, so that we all stay synced up.
Yep.
Pause.
Boom. Okay. So you paused it when he's approaching the manhole and looking down.
Yeah, it faded out. I don't know if it did for you guys.
Okay, so everybody should have their movie paused at this point.
Yeah, sorry, I'm flipping it over. I moved all of my Sega controllers out of the way so they won't get eaten up by the disc tray.
So Rob, do you have any more stuff on your notes that we can talk about in this pause?
Let me see.
I know that there's a chapter in the book by Douglas E. Winter called The Dark Fantastic. I think it's chapter 14, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you want me to? I'll add it to the conversation.
Okay.
My notes. See if y'all just want to pick.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking we can leave this stuff in the commentary track.
Sure, yeah. Okay, 3, 2, 1, unpause.
There we go.
Oh, wait, actually, it takes a few seconds to spin up again.
And now for something completely different.
Okay, now mine started. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess you guys will be about a second ahead of me. That's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, this is horrible. At least they acknowledge that it's horrible.
Now that's Sean Chapman, right?
Who?
Sean Chapman? No. He's the guy who's going to come over to Motherskill in a bit.
Oh, he was their manager for this group or whatever.
Yeah. Man, the cats are scratching at my door. It's like I got an army of zombies outside.
So that's him?
Okay. I think that's him. Right there. See? Brother Frank. With sunglasses. What's with the sunglasses in the dark? Darling,
so is this Frewer also playing this song, or is that somebody else?
Huh. Good point. I don't know.
I would imagine it probably is.
I'm gonna have to let the cats come into the office while we do this. Hang on. We might be hearing some cats meowing.
Okay.
Oh, this part is funny. So yeah, that's Brother Frank right there.
Yeah, I mean, at least they acknowledge that it was terrible.
What a yes man Fluke is.
He's the only one that's not taking himself seriously, that actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Roy Bain looks rough.
The producers didn't want anything to do with Clive's original ideas. They just...
Yeah. When you ask people for money, then they think they get to make the movie.
I'd like to read his original script if it's available.
Oh man, we could try.
His script was, but since it was his first time writing a script, it wasn't really. He'd never written a screenplay. He'd only written plays.
Yeah.
So he had his first draft came in around 70 pages, and it was written like a play. And the director had to help him get the format right. But I had a lot of good, story ideas.
That was funny. I swear on my kid's eyesight.
Yeah, this is a great job from his bodyguards right here. I mean,
yeah.
Where did that syringe come from? Did he just have that in his pocket?
I know, it's huge. It looks like it's for a horse.
Yeah. this is what drives me to believe that Mother Skill is actually like saying the truth, even though, for the sake of the story, he's probably not saying the truth. He's probably behind the whole white man thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
somehow
actually, we
I
don't
believe
really
him a
know
little
for
bit.
sure if Savory did the white man all on his own or not. Because
Right.
this movie could have gone either way with that.
So here we go.
We're delving into this movie way more than anybody has probably ever.
I don't know if anybody ever did like a commentary track for this movie.
Yeah.
That's true. We'll probably be the only ones.
That's right. All the DVD companies are going to be hitting us up for this.
Hey, there's a funny thing. Going back to the same thing I was talking about, the interface in the computers in the 80s movies. And it's like in this one, you see Savory's watching video on his computer.
Yeah.
Which is something that probably was impossible at this time.
And he's using the arrow keys to shuttle backwards and forwards and stuff on the video.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that he's hitting play using print screen or something like that.
Right, yeah.
Then you got that letter font as well on the computer screen, which
I think
is just so retro.
in some of my notes here, I think some of the stiff acting, I don't really blame the actors that much because they were constantly getting rewrites.
Well, and an Amiga and this is 1985, so there was the Amiga 1000. That one couldn't do any video stuff at all. It was only like 87 and on where they could do video stuff.
Yeah, so I just saw Roy Bain press print screen to play a video.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh no, a computer, bloody hell.
Yeah, it should have been a VCR.
Here come the exposition videos.
They made this unnecessarily futuristic.
Yeah, with that green font.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the
remember-
neon lights in the Underworld. Why are those there? I guess because they look cool.
Yeah. And they sure used a lot of blue gel lights in this movie.
So is this guy Red Dog?
The guy who's smoking?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, it could be.
It's hard to match up the people before they get changed.
Yeah. And just a reminder that he's watching the video with the audio on while Savory is just out of the room getting more scotch.
Yeah.
Guy needs to get some better security.
Yeah.
Now, here's the part where you see the effects of the white man. You know, there's this drug that people take in Russia. It's called crocodile. It's this thing that they cook, and it's like bottom of the barrel stuff. Like people who get on crocodile, they have like 6 months to live. I think they use gasoline to cook it and stuff like that. It's really something completely disgusting that they just use instead of like heroin, and it just starts eating them from the inside. So this part kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of that. People with that stuff. You can see their bones and.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Kids would huff gasoline when I was a teacher in Nightmute in the village.
That's harsh.
That's what was available to them, I guess.
I just don't get that.
Yeah, it just totally made them, killed their brains, made them stupid.
Yeah.
The thing is, Savory keeps telling Roy Bain that, well, he's going to say this further down, but he says that he's trying to cure people, but he's just basically killing people, doing experiments where these people.
Well, and then
die.
they're dependent on him for drugs, so they have to come back and buy more. That's why he wants to inject Roy.
Yeah, I wonder how addictive the white man was.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it is because the mutants all want it.
You know, Dune, the movie.
Yeah.
Frank Herbert. Dune was like the most addictive drug. If you tried it once, that's it. You would have to do it forever, otherwise you die. So here we go. More exposition.
I have to say, watching this movie's the movie's gone much faster. Watching with y'all.
That's the benefit.
It is a really slow movie.
It's usually the other way around for me. When I watch a movie with a commentary track on, it seems to take longer.
Yeah.
But right now I feel like Rob, this is going really fast.
Yeah.
Only 42 minutes more to go.
Yeah. Everything is slow. It's like, why?
I know.
Why are we taking 10 minutes to get to make him sit down in a chair or whatever?
I guess that's why they cut it down to 88 minutes when they put it on. Wait, that was a theatrical version that was 88 minutes, I think. And your
DVD
has 88 minutes.
So
And
I wonder if they
runs
just
much
cut
better.
out boring stuff like the walk from that one room to the other room, or you could easily cut out that much time just taking out all the boring, unnecessary stuff.
Oh yeah, I think Rob, you found like a page that was like a DVD censorship comparison or something,
Yeah.
and it
what-
showed
It's
exactly
called
what cuts.
censorship.com.
So what did they say was cut out of this one?
Oh, it's a huge list. There's a bunch
Oh
of
yeah,
little.
it's really big.
So it's a lot of little cuts then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is probably
also
just a bunch of unnecessary junk.
Empire, when they acquired the U.S. rights, they continued to change or cut the movie, and they cut the film down to 78 minutes. So there was a 78-minute version
Jeez.
released, but
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Just
It's like it's already a substandard length of time at 78 minutes. That's like a TV movie.
You know what? The theatrical version of Bloodline is also pretty short. It's under 90 minutes.
without credits, that movie's like about 81 minutes, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's a movie that really needed more time.
So this is the part where he was telling Roy Bain that he's trying to help these people, but he's basically just using them for experiments.
Well, yeah, and he's also saying, "I'm going to inject you so that you need the drug and you keep coming back to me."
Right.
So it doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's weird because I don't want to be mean about Denholm Elliott, but this movie seems like a movie like at the end of his career. But still, he went on to do awesome movies like Indiana Jones sequels and stuff. So
He's well, and it's not really his. I don't. I mean, this character motivations make no sense, and his setting doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think he probably signed on to the project based off Clive's original script. I mean, I think that's what the actress Ingrid Pitt did. She liked the original script.
And all they,
Yeah.
and they don't know what they're getting into.
Rewrites.
Well, didn't it say that they were they did their auditions with no script at all?
Yeah,
could be, yeah.
that's true.
He's more broken up. He's more afraid for that bunch of beakers and stuff getting smashed than he was of getting killed.
Oh, he just destroyed Savory's meth lab.
Yeah.
There we go.
Man, Roy Bain just walks everywhere, even though he has that cool car.
That's right.
He only drove it one time.
Yeah, I know. It was just to show the cool car. That's it.
Yeah, and then probably that guy who owned the boat said, "Okay, you guys, you used my bar, you used my boat and my car. That's enough. Give it all back. I need it now."
Yeah, back to Minion. I mean, Underworld. So there's a double entendre in the Underworld title, which would be the monsters who live underground, as well as the Underworld, as in the
Gangsters,
crime syndicate. Yeah.
Yeah, which they don't really. They're not very convincing as like a crime syndicate, or as like a gang.
Right. You just see like Luke Darling and Motherskill, really.
Yeah.
And then on the script, guys with machine guns.
Yeah, and Motherskill is convincing as a character, but I don't think that overall they're convincing as some kind of mob.
So where's the light shining from the water?
Yeah, it's like a flashlight or something. That's weird.
It looks like a bunch of people just holding flashlights.
It's like, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to come up with that, question watching the movie. They're probably just making out in the back rows of the cinema. This seems like the perfect movie to play like in drive-ins in America. I don't know if this movie played in drive-ins, but it seems just like it was made for.
I don't know what I don't ever remember this being in theaters, but there's a lot of stuff I don't remember. My parents would have just not wanted to see it, and that would be the end of it.
Here's super cool Fluke walking underground with his sunglasses on.
Yeah. I wonder what's the rating on this movie, the MPAA rating?
R.
Is it? Yeah, probably just because of what happens to Savory at the end.
Because there really isn't that much bad language, is there?
No, there's not really language. There's no sex.
Nudity.
Yeah. If I just bug you enough, I can get some.
And I guess that guy is like a scientist because he's got a lab coat.
Yeah,
so he's like the smart one.
Yeah.
He's doing the research.
Some of this stuff kind of reminds me of the Island of Dr. Moreau too. These the monsters.
Hmm.
This is where it gets creepy again when she says that she can persuade him.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of like, I would have just helped you guys if you'd asked instead of kidnapping me and putting chloroform on my face.
Right. She's way too young for this subtext.
Yeah.
But hey, even though they live underground in a sewer, they still have a lab, neons, and a phone.
So he does all this weird elaborate crap to make the phone work. And while he's dialing the phone, half of the time he's not looking at his fingers, he's just dialing the same number over and over again.
Yeah, that's a good catch.
Yeah.
That's just another one of those typical bad movie things.
Yeah.
Like the director probably said, don't worry, just put some random number in there.
Yeah.
Don't even bother.
Well, it's also like Han Solo doing the controls on the Millennium Falcon. He said George Lucas didn't tell him what to do. He just had to, randomly push buttons and flip switches and stuff.
And Chewbacca just hit things with like a wrench.
Yeah.
And Michael Knight just pressed buttons on the top of the kit dashboard.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's lots of walking slowly in this movie.
Walking slowly, stopping, looking around, and walking more slowly.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the music, it really is only in the parts where the action parts.
He's literally following a trail of broken white man bottles.
Yeah.
It's like the breadcrumb trail.
Yeah.
I just noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't notice that before either. That's true. That's how he gets there.
I guess it's implying that like maybe Red Dog was the guy who stole White Man from Savory's house.
Yeah, he was supposed to give it to everybody, but then he just took some and went nuts.
Yeah.
Roy just hit his head on a light bulb, and they're like, "Should we stop the film?" No, just keep going.
Yeah.
This film is expensive.
He's going to run into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a bit.
Yeah. Oh God, I just watched the Michael Bay version of that movie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it was horrible. I mean, I thought it would be like the Transformers movie, which is like sort of passable, but it was leagues beyond terrible.
He just produced it, I think, right?
I've never seen it.
Oh yeah, I think he did just produce it. He didn't direct it.
I know that people were complaining about the faces of the turtles and how their faces look kind of weird.
Yeah, it for me it was just the writing and it's just horrible.
But he I don't mean to get off on a tangent on that, but Michael Bay swears he's such a fan.
Yeah. Yeah, whoever wrote that movie didn't really understand. At
first, they were going to take out the ninja or the mutant or something. It's going to be Teenage Alien Turtles or something like that.
Yeah, well, and I heard that too, but they weren't aliens in the movie.
Right. There's this circus-like music that's going to start playing here in this part. Kind of reminds me of Hellbound in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Tiffany scene when she's in hell.
Yes. When she finds the dark carnival.
That's one of my favorite music cues from that movie.
And then he just took the needle off of the record.
If Hellbound was remade today, they would probably just make like that part of hell would be just like an Insane Clown Posse
Here
concert.
we go.
The Dark Carnival.
Yeah.
Bring out your hatchet.
God.
There we go.
Man, they've got a lot of guns for being in England.
In my notes for this part, I had, "Are you guys still awake?" Because this scene just goes on and on and on. Just real-time sequences of our hero walking into and, down tunnels.
So I don't understand why Nicole doesn't convince them, hey, he's okay, you can untie him.
I
Yeah,
guess
that
even
2 minutes
Nicole
of scenes of him walking through the corridors, it was just 2 minutes I was doing timing of it. It felt like 10 minutes.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I think that Nicole is not entirely sure if maybe Roy Bain is still working for Motherskill or not. I don't know. Yep.
Okay, I'm starting to lose my patience with this movie now.
I know.
I know.
Yeah,
it's like this is a commentary track.
Do you have to talk slowly too?
I guess so.
This is Bane. He came looking for me.
That's not some bad lighting right there.
Let's look at each other for a while.
Oh boy. So here we are.
God.
1 hour, 13 minutes a movie. It could have been just like 50 minutes a movie to this point.
Yeah.
I think I know why Empire cut it down to 78 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it
Maybe
probably
they fell asleep trying to watch it
they
too.
fell asleep probably. And they're like, this movie just.
Yep, this movie will put you to bed quicker than ZQL.
Yeah, that's right. I should have Joey watch this movie every night. God, that would not be a very nice thing to do.
No. Oh boy. Okay, so
What are you talking about here? Okay, go.
I thought, one of the questions I had on my notes is, why is Nicole still here? I thought she would be on her way to Pepperdean's, house.
So, can we pay it a little bit of attention to how does Roy get out of those? Because I missed it when I was like talking on Facebook chat or something when he got out of those. So I don't know how he got untied.
Nicole. How he gets untied? Who?
Roy.
How he gets.
Roy?
Oh, I guess it's happening right now. No, it's not happening right now because he's.
Doesn't Fluke come see him right here in a second?
Yeah, but Fluke doesn't untie him either.
No, he doesn't.
No. Man, Fluke missed him by less than a minute.
I know.
Why did they even need Roy Bain to find this place? Was he following Bane, or did he just find this place by himself? I guess he was following Bane.
He must have. I don't know.
Even though we've never seen Fluke or had any indication that he was following Bane, but
No.
And still with the sunglasses. It seems like the guys from the Underworld, the Morlocks that I call Morlocks.
Yeah.
It seems like at some point there's a lot of them, but sometimes it seems like there's only a room full of them.
Yeah,
because everybody just left.
Sometimes there's 5, and sometimes there's like 20.
Yeah, I understand that with the mobsters, because the mobsters have like muscle, they can just bring in like a van full of guys. But these guys, and most of them don't even have names or lines.
So now Roy just got injected with the white man.
It's okay. Fluke is going to check back with him in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Find Roy Bain's dead body decomposing, hanging from the chains. when you think about it, it's really like, what's the point of injecting him with that? You're just going to leave him there.
Yeah, it's weird. And they want to kill all the mutants, and so he just made him a mutant, so he could have just saved time and just shot him.
In Clive's original script, that's how it plays into the original ending. Bane, that injection scene makes more sense because in the original ending, he's having side effects from having that injection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And when he goes back to see Nicole, he joins up with her.
Well, yeah, and it's more like Nightbreed that way too, with Laurie wanting to become Nightbreed so she could be with Boone.
that's a good point. Good catch. And this is where the movie becomes a music video again.
Yeah, yeah. So, Rob, I was reading in your notes, and I didn't remember reading this before in the Dark Fantastic, but in this shootout coming up, somebody got killed. The location manager.
The location manager, yeah. So that's
Wait, for real?
yeah, for real. Somebody got.
So what? Like somebody they weren't using blanks, or
No, he was just it didn't happen on the set. This is just the guy was killed by somebody.
Okay. So
he was murdered.
So it wasn't. It wasn't.
Had nothing to do with the production.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's not like Brandon Lee.
No, it was not like Brandon Lee. No.
Hey, there's a bonfire. I wonder if that's that same one that they had it earlier. It kind of looks like it, actually.
It does. It does.
The actor who played Roy Bain, Larry Lamb, he was nominated for Villain of the Year in 2009 and in 2010, and he won the 2010 Villain of the Year award for his role on EastEnders, which is kind of like a soap opera they have in England.
Oh, okay. So he must be an old guy now.
Yeah.
What up?
So there's another nice-looking car.
More walking slowly and looking around.
This is another one of those sequences that could have just, you could just show a few seconds.
Yeah, actually, they didn't even need the car. They could have just had him opening the door in that building.
And so I have no idea what this building is anymore. Oh, is this where he accesses the Underworld?
Another, I was going to say, to be fair to the director, he was barred from the editing room, so I don't think he really had any kind of control in making this movie. I think the producers just had their own agenda. And
yeah. Although, I don't know if I trust what he says, because he really screwed over Clive Barker with Rawhead Rex.
I have to read that chapter for that. I didn't know that.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there next time.
There we go. That's Miranda Richardson. Poor Marcus Brody. We want the Grail Diary. No, Indiana Jones took it. I don't have it. Hey, see, guys, I got you some nice, good dope here. It's funny that for this movie, there are some promo photos that are floating on the internet, and some you can find it on Shadows in Eden book.
Yeah.
Yeah, those pictures ended up becoming cooler than the movie itself.
Yeah. Or and like that movie poster that has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, it looks fun. The poster looks fun.
Yeah.
And if you look at the pictures in the glossy color pages of Shadows in Eden, you will find an unused animatronic of Denholm Elliott from Underworld, which I think was supposed to be used in the ending, where his body would just be like getting needles out of the face.
Yeah.
But I don't think they ended up using it at all. Maybe when he's like pulling his skin out or something.
Maybe that one producer that didn't want it to be a horror movie.
Yeah, they settled for just a simple head explosion. It just was.
Well, he caught on fire.
Or set on fire, yeah, something like that.
So this is where Clive Barker described it as mobsters versus monsters.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
where it
and
goes down.
it's you can kind of see the Midian assault in this scene.
Oh, yeah, a good catch. You know what I think is funny in the shootout scenes that are going to show up right now? It's the cheap sound effects of the ricocheting bullets.
Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah,
like straight out of like old movies and cartoons.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah, that's really that's a good catch. It's really
I got
bad.
it from some sound library and sound effects. They just
And
use the
he's
same
shooting
ricocheting
into
sound
that
over and
window,
over.
and the windows weren't breaking.
Just put the you know, it
Fluke
didn't have
is
to be
too
slow.
cool
It has to be
put,
dramatic. Putting the new
to put two hands on one gun too. He has to just hold it with one hand.
Another confusing thing is that so these guys don't really have any powers. They're just deformed people.
Yeah.
You know, Red Dog seemed to have some sort of abilities, but we
Well,
never.
I think he said that they had super strength at one point. Oh, so there he I guess he just sawed through the ties.
Yeah, because Nicole has powers. Red Dog seems to have powers, but the other guys, they just
Yeah.
not really. They don't really do anything. They just get shot and die.
Yeah, and they have lumps on their face.
Yep.
That's their power.
There's a
So
really
they don't
funny
really make this
sequence
very
coming up.
clear. Where is he? And I guess because I thought this was a different. Where is Roy in relation to this right now?
I think he's coming up from the underground tunnels.
Yeah, but aren't they somewhere else now?
Good point.
I mean, Savary had to drive there with a car, but I don't know. You don't really get a good sense of the geography of where everybody is.
You're
Again,
right.
it's one of those things that when they made the movie, they probably just thought, you know what, he just comes up from the sewers and he finds the shootout.
And he's right there where everybody else is at this weird building. And why did they all go here? What was so special about this place?
Right. I thought that they were there to catch Savary.
Oh yeah, they set up the meeting with Nicole had set up the meeting with Savary right there.
Yeah.
So how did the gangsters know to go there? Because Roy didn't even know about it yet.
I think Fluke found Roy or followed him, and then he went back and he told Mother Skill on a phone booth. Well, you saw the phone booth call from Fluke to Mother Skill. Oh, here comes a really awesome scene. Here you go, torch in the butt.
Yeah, that's what.
Boom. And then I'm surprised that Fluke isn't shooting his own people because he still has his sunglasses on.
Yeah, at night. And here's her big heroic scene. She's going to get punched in the face.
He just took off his sunglasses. Fluke took off his sunglasses. Take a shot.
Oh, there's punch her in the face. I don't think we see her again after that.
You know what's funny as well is that they do the shooting parts like they do in bad movies. It's like, okay, just get the machine gun, start shooting, and then just spray it everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't point at anything. Just spray it from side to side.
Yeah.
Because that's how you shoot a machine gun.
Like a John Woo movie.
So when that other prostitute got punched, did she die? Because I don't think
She probably just got knocked out.
Well, I don't think we ever see her again after that.
And she just woke up and just left.
Yeah. As far as the movie's concerned, she's dead.
Yeah.
Also, they don't seem to be particularly careful about Nicole. I mean, the monsters like Darling and Mother Skill.
Yeah.
Because Nicole is with the monsters, but they're just shooting indiscriminately.
Well, he said that he did.
everything.
Fluke did tell him that they don't really care about Nicole.
Oh,
Mother Skill doesn't care about Nicole. He just wants to wanted you to lead us to them and to Savary. Which is weird because Savary works for them, so they should know exactly where he is.
Right.
Just really poor.
Here we go. And miraculously, all the Underworld people we've seen die were all nondescript red shirts, and the ones we've actually seen with good makeup are still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Got his glasses back on.
What's that thing? Oh yeah, those are the gas sprayers. So why? But they spray out of the middle. So why do they have those two long pipes on the sides?
That's another one of those things.
Yeah.
And it sprays very little.
Yeah.
It sprays very little smoke.
Yeah. The rest of the distance is in your imagination.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
this
That
guy.
line, "You can't stay here; they're going to kill you," is like, like Midian and Nightbreed.
Mm-hmm. They're back in the neon room.
Yeah.
So instead of actually trying to save this guy and do some sort of procedure and try to get the bullets out or patch the gunshot wounds, it's like, no, we're just going to look at you and let you bleed all over the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he says, "Let's get out. You got to leave." It's like, well, I'm dying right here on this chair. How am I going to leave?
And then it's like, goodbye, thanks. I'm going to die now. And the other guys were just looking at him. And
That
sadly,
guy's not a very good guard.
so I guess they're just sitting here waiting for the inevitable. That guy's going to die with shitface at his side.
When I was watching this last night, at first I thought that Fluke didn't have his arm in his sleeve on his left arm because it's hanging there like it's dead.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Well, I thought he was like Napoleon with his arm inside of his coat.
Yeah, you can see the elbow bend a little bit.
Yeah.
And Mother of Skill's got a pimpin' jacket, dude. like fur coat.
Yeah.
Looks like he's about to drop some sweet, fresh rhymes.
Yeah, you would think he would want to... It's kind of funny. Why do these guys with the guns stop right there? Their whole purpose was to kill everybody.
Also,
and if they
did you
shot
notice
those guys, they wouldn't have to use the gas.
Yeah. Did you notice how this underground world seems to have either it's like a brick tunnel or sometimes you see these like doors opening up and there's like these columns around? Kind of reminds me of Midian as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have saved the trouble of having to put on the gas masks and all that if they just shot them.
The movie was shot at the Limehouse Studios. The set design was by Lynn Huntingford. If anybody's interested.
Who killed that guy with a syringe on his neck?
Savory did. That's how he escaped.
Oh, but he did it off camera, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
They showed him eyeballing the syringe a little bit ago.
Oh, I guess. And here there's like a scene where Mother Skill says, "You're dead if you don't speak." Well, he's pretty much dying anyway. I mean,
Yeah. Well, and of course
Yeah.
they're going to die either way.
so it's like, oh, you get close to him. I'm not getting close to that guy. It's just typical. This part is like, okay, here we go. I'm getting close to this guy because I want to hear his dying words.
Yeah, that gets used a lot.
And then it's like, stabby McStab.
Yeah. No blood.
Ooh. Okay, well, there you go. The movie should really, end here. Like, well, not here, but there's still 10 minutes to go, honestly.
Yeah, I know. It just
All right, let's get
they shoot the gas
masks
right up
going.
in your face
The camera.
first, and then it goes forward.
Oh no, there's slow-moving gas. How am I going to escape it?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe while they were putting their gas masks on, they could have, like, run away.
Yeah, you don't really understand why these guys are just standing there.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'm just going to stand here and choke to death.
Oh, Roy's out of bullets.
And this looks like the inside of a house. So maybe Savory was going into that house, and that house probably led to the Underworld.
Well,
I get that.
Nicole told him to meet her there.
Yeah, because probably that's how they would come out of the Underworld and meet him over there, and then they could take him down into the Underworld. So this house is kind of like the what do you call it? The place where you put the coffins in a graveyard.
Oh yeah, mortuary. And this is kind of funny. He's like, "You stupid bastard," because it's like it's Fluke's fault that he took his mask off.
It's his fault because he's wearing sunglasses under his mask, so he can see some other skill. That's what you get. Like, oh, I'm dead.
And Roy can't use his hands anymore because he wouldn't use the straps on the gas mask.
So here it is, Mother Skill choking on his own smoke. It's like, oh, okay, I'm lucky that I'm out of this movie now. I'm gonna do something better. Gonna cash my check.
Yeah, so that's all the bad guys. Oh, except for Savory, of course.
So this is really where the movie could end, but still going.
Yeah.
Of course, you still need resolution on the whole, Roy Bain, Nicole thing.
And Savory, too. He's still out there. Actually, the music in this part reminds me of Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, the synth music is. Hey, Shitface got a mask.
Yeah. Yeah, where'd he get that from? Oh, from the guy.
That's one of the guys.
Yeah, the guy that got stabbed.
See, you made the association. You kind of made it. You're. I would call it making an excuse for the movie, but actually I can't say that because you're probably right.
They should have shown it. That would have made it a little.
They should have shown Savory escaping, and they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like right here, how did Savory get a gun?
The exciting parts.
Yeah. So here Savory has a gun. I guess he got it from one of the dead bodies.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got an Uzi.
Yeah, all those mutants had guns when Roy came in there, but then when they're fighting these mobsters, they didn't have any guns.
Yeah, that's a good point. They could have used them,
Yeah.
Now it's my turn to make an excuse for the movie. Maybe they ran out of bullets.
Yeah.
You know those Uzis? They have like a 48 bullet clip.
Yeah.
And that thing, if you fire an Uzi for like 10 seconds, that's it. You fire all 48 bullets right away. Oh, this is the final showdown. And for some reason, we got lightning and flashes underground. It reminds me a little bit of the ending for Rawhead Rex.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking that, too. It had to be a woman.
Yeah. And there's all these lights and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
I do like this scene here. It almost reminds me of a Mario, of a Bava film. You know?
I was thinking that, too, last night, that this is actually kind of works pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, that was definitely an inspiration for the director and Clive when they were coming up with the project originally.
Yeah.
They could have used a little more special effects in this part because poor Denholm Elliott is just squirming.
Yeah.
There we go. Sparks.
Whoa, yellow eyes.
And those are awful. They use those in Angel Heart, too. at the end, showing that little baby that was a.
Oh yeah.
And Robert De Niro's eyes was "Your
Yeah.
soul belongs to me." I was actually looking at that movie yesterday. That's really a big coincidence.
I haven't seen that in since it came out.
Oh, I love it. Mickey Rourke is
It's a
great in it.
Great film.
Oh, okay, so you see this? That there's like a lump coming out of like Savary's cheekbone. It's like his face is stretching out here. And this part reminds me of Poltergeist when the guy is like pulling out his own face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Narcisse.
Yeah. Narcisse, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Good catches there. It would have been so much more visceral with that other effect. I mean,
Yeah.
Boom. So I guess the animatronic that they use is probably this thing that blows up. That is such an anticlimactic kill. I mean,
Oh yeah.
when you know what was supposed to happen here, it's like, oh, really? They just went with like setting a dummy on fire and blowing it up.
yeah. I mean, when they had,
compared to
the
the rest
makeup-
of the movie, it's pretty exciting though.
I guess they couldn't come up with a cheap idea to have the hypodermic needles, come out of the skin and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they did have the makeup for Savary with no skin on his face.
I still love you. I love you so much that I pretend your friend is you.
So,
we're coming up on the end of this.
why are the sewers her home now? Is she going to join the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Well, yeah, and it's like she's like, these are my people. Like, what people? Shitface?
Everybody's dead.
I know.
Yeah, except for Shitface. He's alive
Yeah.
and he gets the girl.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I actually like that idea.
I mean, there's really no reason why she can't go up with Roy. Shitface can get medical help that he needs, and they can all be much better off, honestly.
Well, I know, and it's like he's like, "I love you," and then she says, "Show me," and then he leaves. It's like not enough to hang around with you and Shitface.
Also, aren't they going to suffer withdrawals and like die if they don't have any white men?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they just
that
killed
wasn't.
Savary.
It's like that's not important anymore, apparently.
It's okay. Roy Bain is coming back in 2 weeks to check up on them.
Or Fluke is.
Yeah. Man, our hero had a rough night. And after all this, he does not get to keep the girl.
Yeah.
Just needs to go
Yeah,
home.
it's like just because music's playing doesn't mean he can't go with him. It doesn't make any sense. They really don't do a good job explaining why Roy is not going with her.
That's right. It's just...
He just
I
says
wonder if Clive
Nicole,
Barker's
and then
ending
she's
was
like,
like
"What?"
this.
And then he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, and she doesn't seem like she's excited to go anywhere with him, really. It's just like, okay, well, this is me now. I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
You can go.
Yep, we're gonna find a new place to live, me and Shitface.
I'm just going to walk around slowly and then turn around and then walk around some more and then turn around again.
How come there was never a sequel to this movie with the adventures of Nicole and Shitface?
I would pay to see that, but only if it was not, directed by George
Oh,
Pablo.
is that Savary's suitcase full of white man?
Oh,
Yes, it
I guess
is.
So
It
Yeah,
is.
so they're okay for a while.
it's like, hey, cool.
Roy Bain got injected, but we're not supposed to remember that.
Let's grab this stash and go to like the southern coast of France and live like kings.
Yeah. and Roy's going to be having withdrawals, I guess, pretty soon, or he's going to turn into a mutant.
Yeah, that
And
was
this part-
the original ending. That was what was supposed to happen.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
and so but he said he didn't know what his fantasy was. So does that mean he doesn't have any dreams, so nothing happens to him?
Could be. You know this part here when he's walking in the pier, the docks? I always wondered, he should see James Woods going into the end of Videodrome right here. Because it reminds me of the scene where James Woods, at the end of Videodrome, he walks down a pier and goes into like a shack, and he sees like the TV there.
Yeah, that's right. It does.
Someone should put James Woods walking in the background there.
And now the letterbox bars are back for no reason.
Comic book guy would call this worst ending ever.
Yeah, man, that's...
Oh, Mother Skill has an E on the end of his name. I didn't know that.
Oh, Bianca was Irina Brooke. I think she was the other prostitute.
Oh, Bianca, okay. And Nygaard has two A's like he's a Viking.
Oh, Buchanan was Sean Chapman.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that was that guy.
Even though his name is never mentioned, but Nygaard, there you go. There was the other guy. And Lazarus, Chevron, and then Underworlder 1, 2, and 3. It's just generic people.
Yeah, they probably just kept showing up over and over again and getting killed.
Yep. And so let's see if I can find Bob Keene's name here in the credits.
Is there a soundtrack CD available?
I don't think so. I never found anything, but I never looked for it either.
You didn't go out of your way to try to, just for this song.
Well, thank God the credits are fast.
They had 4 stuntmen, and one of them's called Tipping.
Yeah. One nice thing about 80s movies is the credits are pretty short.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying.
Oh, soundtrack by CBS Records.
Oh, so there was probably a record of this.
Could be.
1985, Limehouse Productions Limited.
Filmed on location in England and Ireland.
That film.
All right. Okay, so I guess that's it.
All right.
On to the next one.
Limehouse Freeman production.
Yeah.
Underworld. This is part of the fundraiser Hell on Earth because we're torturing ourselves for you.
Yeah. This is just the beginning.
All right. I hope you enjoy this, and if you saw this on a Laserdisc or VHS or even the DVD, then
And I think even if you pirated it, Clive Barker wouldn't care.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't care at all. So this movie, I think, is also on YouTube, so you might be watching this on YouTube. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and it was fun. Thanks.
Yeah. All right.
We're going to be doing a few more commentary tracks, so stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one.
All right, guys.
And thanks for everyone's support. Bye-bye.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
The Clive Barker Podcast, or BarkerCast, is an independent editorial fan site and podcast that is not affiliated with or under contract by Clive Barker or Seraphim Films. This podcast and site are a labor of love by the fans for the fans. News, features, and show notes for this episode can be found at www.clivebarkercast.com. Go to iTunes and please leave us a review. Reviews really help us get the word out about Clive Barker. You can also find us on Podomatic, Xbox Music Store, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, Double Twist, BlackBerry, and Pocket Cast. We have a Facebook page, so come on and like our Facebook page and join the Occupy Midian group for lots of discussion about Nightbreed and other Clive Barker stuff. On Twitter, we're at BarkerCast and at Occupy Midian. Opening theme by Mark Buckle.